morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Wednesday, September 6, 2017. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. Well, it looks like it's finally happening. Irma, the strongest storm ever recorded in the Atlantic Ocean. A Category 5 storm with wind speeds right now in excess, sustained wind speeds in excess of 185 miles per hour, is moving westward and on a likely path to hit the state of Florida. It's already struck the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, as well as some of the Leeward Islands. The government says that the National Hurricane Center says Irma is a potentially catastrophic Category 5 storm, which will bring life-threatening wind, storm surge, and rainfall hazards. Rain from Irma already has begun hitting the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. The eye of the hurricane passed over two islands further to the east, Barbuda and also St. Martin. The massive storm surge is bringing waves of as high as 20 feet predicted for the Turks and Caicos. Over the next 12 hours, the sustained winds of the storm will stay at or above 180 miles per hour. The chance that the storm will make a direct impact on Florida continues to increase. Key West and the Florida Keys are now under mandatory evacuation orders. The entire state of Florida, as well as the territory of Puerto Rico, have been declared states of emergency by their governors. The storm is moving west-northwest at about 16 miles per hour. Meteorologists are flabbergasted by the tightly defined eye, the high maximum winds, and wind speeds of up to 225 miles per hour. A scientist at the National Hurricane Center said, "I am at a complete and utter loss for words looking at Irma's appearance on satellite imagery." Right behind Irma is Tropical Storm Jose, which is expected to become a hurricane later this evening. Its winds are expected to top 100 miles per hour within the next 2 days. The whole question is, where will this storm go? Where will Irma go? And we'll know that probably within 24 hours, when we'll determine whether or not the storm is going to turn to the north or whether it's going to continue to the west and go into the Gulf of Mexico. Hurricane Irma has already caused major flooding and damage to several Caribbean islands. The government of France announced that the four, quote, most solid buildings on the island of St. Martin have been destroyed. Barclays research is predicting that Hurricane Irma's insured damage in Florida could be the largest in U.S. history, a record currently held by 2005 storm Hurricane Katrina. Jay Gelb of Barclays said, given the potential magnitude of this storm, the insured damage in Florida could be the largest ever in the U.S., perhaps equivalent to Katrina. In the worst-case scenario, cat modelers AIR and Karen Clark have estimated hurricane insured damage could be as much as $130 billion. Billions of dollars were wiped off shares of insurers yesterday as anticipatory anxiety struck investors because of prospective losses from Hurricane Irma. Yesterday was the worst day for insurance stocks in 2017. Bermuda-based companies, for example, saw sharp declines in the value of their stocks, many falling between 4 and 10%. Maiden Holdings fell over 10%, Aspen Insurance dropped about 9%, Validus was down almost 9%, Axis Capital fell 7.5%, and RenRe a little bit over 7%. The collective market capitalization of those five companies alone was, as a consequence, shaved by more than $1 billion. Hurricane Irma's current track could, quote, fundamentally change the market, according to Willis Re CEO-designate James Kent, speaking at the Insurance Insiders pre-Monte Carlo conference in London earlier today. Kent said that should a Category 4 or 5 storm hit the U.S. mainland in a metropolitan area, causing an insured loss close to $100 billion, as is being mentioned in some articles, quote, a market correction becomes inevitable. He said that while Harvey's uninsured losses are likely to be far greater than insured losses, Kent warned that Texas is a highly litigious state, and the reinsurance market should expect significant political pressure to pay disputed claims. Kent noted what had happened in New Zealand with the earthquakes in Christchurch, saying that we can expect to see some sort of claim creep here. Nephila, Everest Re, and Ren Re are among the leading reinsurers of some of the top Florida insurers last year. This is according to data being collected by Insurance Insider. Reinsurers of the biggest Floridian cedants will bear the brunt of the loss of Hurricane Irma. Nephila has cut back on its exposure compared to 2015, but they still collected about $200 million of premium ceded by 10 leading Florida insurers last year. This gives it about an 8% share of the $2.5 billion of total premium ceded by a peer group, including premiums written by Nephila's fronting partner, Allianz Risk Transfer. Everest Re is close behind with about $196 million. The biggest cedants in Florida are Universal Property and Casualty, Heritage Property and Casualty, Federated National, Homeowners Choice, Security First, United Property and Casualty, People's Trust, First Protective, and American Integrity. Both Swiss Re and Munich Re are underweight, with Swiss Re assuming just $30 million of premiums and Munich Re about $1.1 million, so they will not be hit too badly. Meanwhile, AM Best said that while reinsurers have been making other responses to the soft market, including reducing possible maximum losses in peak zones, Irma is going to present quite an issue. AM Best said the reality of the current situation is that even in a normal catastrophe year, which we haven't had in some time, a normal cat year would expose the true ramifications of the current market conditions. An above average cat year may be downright ugly. If Irma continues the way it's going to be way more than an above average cat year. All eyes are on the weather maps. That's the news for today. If we have breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.